as we continue. One is El Olam, which means the eternal God and the everlasting God. Genesis chapter 21, verse 3 is the first reference we're going to look at for that this evening. And then we'll also turn to Isaiah 40:28. 33. Then Abram planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there called the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. And this was in reference to his covenant with Abimelech. Just how God had stayed with him, and he was the everlasting God for him there. And then our next one was in, I believe I said Isaiah, my note. Isaiah 40:28, where he says, "Have you not known, have you not heard, the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary, his understanding is unsearchable." We have the eternal, everlasting God on our side. And it's pretty amazing to think about that. He's not short-term. I think about the golden calf, how quickly it was destroyed, how quickly it was created, how quickly it was destroyed. But we have the everlasting God who's the same, everlasting yesterday and today, as we see in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8. And the next one is El Roi, the God who sees me. I enjoyed studying this one as far as just thinking about that. We always think about the omnipresence of God, but that God always sees us. And our first reference to that this evening is Genesis chapter 16. And that's with Hagar, where Hagar she has fled from Sarai, her master, her mistress. And then in chapter 11 it says, 16:11, "And the angel of the Lord said to her, Behold, you are with child, and you shall bear a son, you shall call his name Ishmael. Because the Lord has heard your affliction, he shall be a wild man, his hand shall be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Then she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her, You are the God who sees." That's the El Roi there. "For she said, Have I also here seen him who sees me? Therefore the well was called Ber Lahai Roi. Observe, it is between Kadesh and Bered." So God saw her when she was out in the wilderness. He knew where she was. He knew the circumstance. Paul often talks about his Sunday morning class that he knew the answer when he was asking that was and what she was doing. But she probably didn't realize that until she pointed out to him about that. So he always knew her circumstances. And he always sees and knows our circumstances. People always ask, I think about how people ask, where's God? What's happened to God? Because bad things happen. And he knows. He knows our circumstances, and he knows everything because he is El Roi. And as we can see in Psalms 139, 7 through 12, which will be our final reading this evening, the omnipresence of God. That he is always there. Starting in verse 7, "Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend into heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, Surely the darkness shall fall on me, even the night shall be light about me. Indeed, the darkness shall not hide from you, but the night shines as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to you." So as we think about El Olam and El Roi this evening, the everlasting God and the God who sees me, we should be so thankful that we have that everlasting God who's there at the beginning and he's going to be there at the end. But we also need to be conscious that God sees everything. We can't hide because he is the God who sees all and knows all. And I pray tonight that each and every one of us are living a life that God sees and he is happy with. And if you are struggling